Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, dwyervip.com. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Today is June the 3rd, 2016. Tomorrow, you're going to have a fight that I'm baffled about. I mean, honestly, I don't understand this betting spread. You're going to have a fight between Francisco Vargas and Orlando Salido. Right now, curiously, and I say curiously, Salido is a plus 285 underdog. Who made this line? How's he almost a 3-1 underdog? This is one of those videos where I'm going to throw it out to you, the boxing public. If you're someone who believes he should be an almost 3-1 underdog, then I hope you leave the reasons why in the comment section to this video, right? Educate me. Tell me what's going on, because I've looked at some of the films. Obviously, Salido has been in the game a long time, and I have to be blunt here. It's really an odds play, right? You know a fighter is good, right? Let's say Miguel Cotto, Orlando Salido, a fighter on that level, and you hear that you're getting almost 3-1 odds on him. Before I even look at the films, I'm on my way to the counter to place a bet. Now let's talk about this. The fight's going to be at the StubHub Center. You know the StubHub Center. That's the place where Paul Williams beat Antonio Margarito, right? That's a place where, by tradition, the fans like action, right? If you don't want to get booed at the StubHub Center in Southern California, you need to come out and you need to throw volume, right? If you're on your front foot and you're throwing a lot of volume, the crowd's going to be on your side, right? You get the crowd on your side, I'm telling you, a lot of judges are going to be caught up in the moment. Well, understand, Orlando Salido, in his last fight against a very tough three-time champion, Roman Martinez. In other words, Salido's been in the ring with very tough champions, right? Against Roman Martinez, Salido, according to CompuBox, throws over 1,000 punches. Over 1,000. Right? If you watch Salido fights, you understand. He's going to throw a lot of punches. You know that. Understand, too, he overwhelmed Vasyl Lomachenko with the volume of punches he threw. Understand, Salido is the guy who gave Lomachenko his lone loss. Right? Salido fought Mikey Garcia. Started poorly, was getting blasted out of there, then mounted a comeback. The fight got stopped because of a broken nose. Not Salido's broken nose, Mikey Garcia's broken nose. Understand, in that fight, where Salido is in against a heavy world-class hitter and is getting off the canvas, right, is getting blown out in that fight. Salido was the one with momentum at the time of the stoppage, and Salido was the one who was upset with the fight being stopped. Let me just say, too, you'd be hard-pressed. I mean, hard-pressed to find a guy who's fought more A-level competition than this guy. Just the names I've mentioned here. Roman Martinez, Vasyl Lomachenko, Mikey Garcia, right? Francisco Vargas doesn't have a resume remotely approaching Orlando Salido's. Right? These names aren't on Vargas's resume. They're on Salido's. Right? They're on Salido's. Now let's talk about Francisco Vargas. I know that Takashi Miura fight was a classic. No question about it. Great fight. Slugfest. Right? Vargas comes out, I think it's the 9th round, closes the show, gets the KO. Great. You know what I like to say here? Knockouts cause amnesia. Folks, can we look back to the moments before the KO? Did you know that at the time of the stoppage, Vargas was trailing on 2 of the 3 scorecards? Right, that's the fight. Folks, at the time of the stoppage, Vargas could barely see out of one of his eyes. It's battered. You want to know how battered? Believe it or not, in the break before the final round, the doctor is in Vargas's corner, examining his injury, making a decision on whether Vargas could continue. Had the doctor said, hey, I'm waving this off, no one would have complained because, number one, the eye looked that bad, right? The injury is that bad. Number two, he's losing on the scorecards. Right? Let's also talk about it. That's a real grueling fight that Vargas just had, wasn't it? That's grueling. His eye has had to heal. He's never been in a shootout like that Miura fight. How do you know that this fight isn't too much too soon? The guy's just been in a war. Now you're going to put him in the ring with Orlando Salido? In front of a crowd that likes volume? Look, man, if this fight was even money, there'd be a compelling case to make for Orlando Salido. You're going to give me a plus 285? You mean all I have to do is bet $10 to win $28.50 in profit, and they're going to give me back my $10? And I'm getting a guy who has the better resume, quite frankly, might be the better fighter? Look, man, sign me up. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. I don't know who is making these odds up. I don't know what the public is thinking here. Right? When you hear Orlando Salido and it's a plus 285, you need to get out of your seat at the sportsbook, walk to the counter, and on your way to the counter, tap the other gambler next to you and say, who's he fighting? Right? This bet to me makes itself, the value to me is compelling. Here are 2 things I think I know. Number 1, Salido's going to come in throwing a lot of punches on his front foot. Right? Number 2, if Salido gets knocked down in the fight, he's going to get off the canvas, and then guess what he's going to do, folks? He's going to throw a lot more punches. Right? The bet I'm recommending here is the underdog, plus 285. Hell, the casino's paying you to take this bet, aren't they? The bet I'm recommending is Orlando Salido, the underdog, to win the fight. These are the fights we try to find. Hedged with Vargas by KO. Right? I know Vargas is going to throw a lot of punches himself. He throws 700 against Miura, right, in the first 8 rounds. Okay, great. All I'm saying is, if it's going to be a shootout, I'm going to go with the veteran fighter who has the better resume. Right? I like Salido to win, hedged with Vargas by KO. Right? Maybe Vargas catches him. Maybe he doesn't. Right? But I'll tell you what, at these odds, I'm rolling with the underdog. That's how I see the fight. Let me hear from you. I know Salido is a controversial figure with many. I'm just telling you, this guy is highly skilled. Right? I've heard him in interviews. He was fighting Juan Manuel Marquez. By the way, that's another big name on his resume. He was fighting Juan Manuel Marquez, and during the fight, he had an epiphany. I know he has a lot of losses on his record. A lot of them were early in his career. During the fight, he had an epiphany. As he was fighting Marquez, he thought to himself, this guy's not that much better than me. Why haven't I been more serious about my career? So it's after that fight that this guy decides, look, I'm not going to be a journeyman. I'm going to be a champion. Folks, he's been a champion. Right? We all have wake-up calls at different times in our lives. He had a wake-up call. You need to ignore a bunch of the losses before that Marquez fight. He had a wake-up call. Since then, he's been in with tough customers. I'm telling you, even the fights he's lost, he's represented himself well. Right? Mentally, this guy is one of the toughest guys in the sport. He wasn't intimidated by all the hype about two-time Olympic gold medal winner Vasyl Lomachenko. He goes out and beats him. Right? Even the Garcia fight where he's getting blown out in the fight, the guy gets off the canvas and continues to bring it. Right? That's the kind of guy I'm going to take if you're going to offer me plus 285 odds. Right? I like the underdog here. Salido hedged with the favorite by KO. Tell us your thoughts on whether the betting line is justified, and tell us how you're going to play it. If there's an exotic prop bet out there, let us know what that prop bet is and tell us why you feel that it's worth our time. Thanks for stopping by. Good luck.